4 cell phones, a laptop, and a thumb drive. What was she trying to do? And how did she get that far inside with the president in Florida? Also developing tonight, the deadly explosion. Workers crawling under fences to escape. Some on gurneys, residents nearby feeling their homes shake. Multiple schools on lockdown. The breaking headline tonight, an arrest after the murder of a popular rap star amid that new surveillance of the deadly attack. And the scare during a vigil erupting into chaos, multiple injuries. 2 new storm threats as we come on tonight. Blinding rain, strong winds, even snow in a system moving up the East Coast. Rob is tracking it. We're on the scene tonight. Multiple bodies found inside a family-owned company. What police have just revealed. President Trump, who declared the Republican Party will be the party of health care, now reveals the plan won't be revealed until after 2020. The families suing tonight over hidden cameras in the operating rooms. Tonight, the hospital accused of secretly recording dozens of female patients. Deborah Norville undergoing surgery after what an alert viewer spotted on TV, and what we can all learn from this. And in New York City, the NYPD vehicle seen smashing into several cars. How they're explaining this tonight.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening on this Tuesday night. It is great to have you with us. And we begin tonight with news of the arrest, the troubling security breach at Mar-a-Lago while the president was in Florida. An intruder arrested. The Chinese woman had multiple passports and cell phones, a laptop, and that thumb drive. Somehow she got past Secret Service and got past Mar-a-Lago security for a time. What was her plan? Who sent her? And how did she get that far inside on the president's property? ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz leading us off.
Tonight, the major security breach at Mar-a-Lago while the president was in Florida. It was just after noon on Saturday. The woman, Yujing Zhang, walking right up to a Secret Service agent, presenting 2 passports from the Republic of China as ID. Authorities say Zhang told the agent she was there to go to the pool. According to court documents, the agent checked the ID and handed Zhang off to Mar-a-Lago security. They couldn't find her on their membership rolls. But there was another person named Zhang who belonged to the club. According to the complaint, due to a potential language barrier issue, Mar-a-Lago believed her to be the relative of that member. They let her in. A valet drove her to the main reception area in a golf cart, passing 3 more Secret Service agents. Prosecutors say Zhang was finally stopped by a receptionist who asked her several times why she was there. According to the complaint, Zhang finally responded that she was there for a United Nations Chinese American Association event later in the evening. The receptionist knew this event does not exist. At that point, the Secret Service took over. Authorities say Zhang claimed her Chinese friend Charles told her to travel from Shanghai to attempt to speak with a member of the president's family about Chinese and American foreign economic relations. Police say she was carrying 4 cell phones, a laptop, an external hard drive, and a thumb drive. Authorities determined preliminarily that the thumb drive contained malicious malware.
All right, so let's get right to Martha Raddatz with us live tonight. And Martha, do we have any idea yet what authorities think this woman was up to?
Well, there's still many questions about who she is and why she was there, and especially about that thumb drive, which authorities say contained the malware, which can infect computers with a virus. But also tonight, David, so many questions about how she was able to make it onto that secure property. Even if the president wasn't there at the time, that is where he spent the weekend, David.
Past several layers of security. All right, Martha Raddatz leading us off. Thank you, Martha. We're also following a deadly plant explosion tonight. Workers crawling out under fences trying to get to safety. All of this playing out at a chemical plant in Crosby, Texas, outside Houston. The explosion leading to shaking homes, multiple schools on lockdown, the fire sending thick black smoke right into the air. Everyone within a mile was told to stay inside today. Some workers on gurneys, helicopters you can see rushing to the scene. Tonight, at least 1 worker is dead, and ABC's Marcus Moore is on the scene.
Tonight, a terrifying chemical plant blast, leaving 1 person dead and several communities outside Houston on edge.
All units be advised, we got multiple injured employees at the chemical refinery.
Flames and thick black smoke pouring from tanks. The incident beginning just after 11 o'clock this morning when officials say isobutylene, a highly flammable chemical, ignited.
There was pops. I mean, boom, boom.
Dozens of workers inside hearing radio chatter of a leak.
They told us to get out the plant. There was a leak, and we were evacuating, and it blew up, and we had to crawl underneath the fence to get out.
Life flight choppers quickly moving in.
With one patient, he's got second and third degree burns in the face and hands.
Authorities tonight saying one worker is dead, 2 more in critical condition. The blaze setting off the plant's automated water system while firefighters on the ground brave the heat and flames.
There are still small explosions at this time.
All residents within a 1-mile radius ordered to shelter in place. Students kept in schools. Air conditioning units in those buildings turned off. Other adults and children seen wearing face masks.
There are some other chemicals in the complex that are concerning to us as well, so we're actively monitoring that.
This comes just days after a fire at a different facility nearby burned on and off for days. At one point, officials detecting toxic benzene in the air. The EPA now monitoring air quality for this incident as well. But so far, saying despite this thick smoke, they have not detected anything of concern.
Marcus Moore with us live tonight from the scene. Marcus, we know the fire is just out, that shelter-in-place order lifted, as you were telling us, but this refinery where the blast took place was already under scrutiny?
Yeah, David, government records show a history of OSHA violations, and this company is facing a civil trial later this summer over allegations it violated clean air and water laws. Tonight, the company is apologizing for this latest incident, and the EPA right now has a plane in the air monitoring the air quality, and tonight they assure residents it is safe. David.
Marcus, thank you. There is also breaking news out of Los Angeles tonight. An arrest just a short time ago in the murder of Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle. These images just coming in tonight, police taking the suspect into custody. Authorities do not believe this was gang-related. What they're now saying about this tonight, and it comes amid that new surveillance showing the moment the artist was shot and killed. ABC's Adrienne Bankert from Los Angeles.
Tonight, after an aggressive all-out manhunt, authorities say they've captured 29-year-old Eric Holder, the prime suspect in the murder of rapper Nipsey Hussle.
There he is. There he is.
The news comes just hours after police called for him to turn himself in.
To Mr. Holder, who I am confident is watching this and is listening to these media accounts, I ask him to surrender.
Police scouring surveillance videos gathered from the scene, including this one obtained by TMZ. It shows the suspect talking to Hussle, leave, then return before opening fire and escaping in a white Chevy Cruze driven by a woman. Police say his murder was not a gang fight, but a personal dispute. Overnight, a vigil for the Grammy-nominated artist in the parking lot where he was murdered. It turned into a stampede after someone brandished a gun. David, mourners continue to file in here at the vigil to pay their respects. Police say this was not gang-related, but a personal dispute. David?
Adrienne Bankert with us again tonight. Thank you. We're watching 2 storm systems slamming both coasts tonight. In the east, one storm dropping unusual snow in North Carolina before bringing blinding rain and heavy winds right up the coast tonight. Rob Marciano is tracking it all for us. Rob?
Hi, David. This storm has made a mess of the Carolinas today, and it's only strengthening as it heads towards the northeast tonight. You see it on the satellite picture there. The track is going to stay just offshore, fortunately, but that means Long Island and eastern New England get it. It should end during the morning rush for Boston, but 1 to 3 inches of wet snow in eastern Mass and Maine potentially throughout the day tomorrow. Our western storm gets into the plains for the afternoon. We're looking at a severe weather threat for the Texas Panhandle. Then that storm zone expands as it heads to the lower Mississippi Valley. Thursday is the day we're most concerned. David?
Rob Marciano tonight. Rob, thank you. We also have new reporting this evening after that gruesome discovery inside a family-owned business. 4 people discovered dead, and ABC's Alex Perez is on the scene in North Dakota with what we've learned.
Tonight, the murder mystery just outside Bismarck, North Dakota. Police asking for the public's help as they work to track down whomever murdered 4 people inside this management company building. The police chief here, like so many others, stunned.
It's something that you never wake up in the morning thinking, geez, this is the phone call that I'm going to receive.
Police making the chilling discovery Monday morning after responding to a medical call at RJR in Mandan. The company manages apartment buildings. Among the dead, police say the owner and this married couple pictured on the company website. The murders rocking this tight-knit town. Police say they believe the 4 were targeted, but revealing little else.
It's a special kind of evil, that's all I can say.
David, investigators have not revealed a motive, but say they do not believe the general public is at risk. They're reviewing surveillance cameras, but so far have not released a description of the suspect. David?
All right, Alex Perez. Alex, thank you. Tonight, Boeing has now revealed they will need far more time than expected to install that software fix on its 737 MAX jets. So now the question, how long will those grounded jets sit there? And could this now begin to affect the busy summer travel season? Here's ABC's David Curley.
With summer travel quickly approaching, it appears tonight these parked Boeing 737 MAXs, grounded, may not be available for several more weeks. Boeing, which planned to ask for approval of its software upgrade last Friday, is now asking for more time.
We're working with customers and regulators around the world to restore faith in our industry.
Boeing says it will demonstrate it's addressed all certification requirements, but will now ask for approval in the coming weeks. That could be up to 4 more weeks. The FAA saying it won't approve the software until it is satisfied. The software will make it more difficult for an anti-stall system in the new jet to misfire and easier for a pilot to regain control. That system is suspected in 2 crashes of MAXs in the past 5 months, in which the jets nose down and up dramatically. American and Southwest, who together own nearly 60 aircraft, have been forced to cancel more than 200 flights every day.
And David Curley with us live tonight from Reagan Airport. David, I wanted to get back to what you reported just there, that even though they say they have a fix, that these jets might not be in the air again until May or perhaps even later?
Boeing has found something that they either want to change or add to that software fix. There's reports that it could take 4 weeks, add 2 weeks to pilot training, optimistically mid-May before this fleet is back in the air, David.
David Curley covering this every step of the way. Thank you, David. Tonight, President Trump and the plan he says that will replace Obamacare. Just days after backing a full repeal of Obamacare and saying the Republican Party would be the party of health care. Now he says the plan won't be revealed until after the 2020 election. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
1 week after saying he would make the Republicans the party of health care.
I understand health care now, especially very well. A lot of people don't understand it.
President Trump now says that will have to wait until after the 2020 election. The backtracking started last night with a tweet. Vote will be taken right after the election when Republicans hold the Senate and win back the House. The president's initial promise of a Republican health care plan came after he decided last week to attempt to completely terminate Obamacare through the courts, a move that could leave tens of millions of people without health insurance. Now he's saying the Republican replacement plan will have to wait.
If we get back the House, and on the assumption we keep the Senate and we keep the presidency, which I hope are 2 good assumptions, we're going to have a phenomenal health care.
The about face comes after Republican leaders in Congress told the president they had no interest in pushing through a health care bill anytime soon.
I made it clear to him we were not going to be doing that in the Senate.
Republicans have yet to present a plan to replace Obamacare, but today the president implied he already has one.
When the plan comes out, which we'll be showing you at the appropriate time, it's much better than Obamacare. So when the plan comes out, you'll see it.
John Karl with us live tonight at the White House. And John, President Trump talked about that plan right there. He said when it's available, the public will see it to replace Obamacare. And I know our team reached out to Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office. Are Senate Republicans aware of any plan tonight?
No word on that from the Republicans. But, David, if there is a plan, it is one of Washington's best-kept secrets because nobody seems to know what it is.
John Karl live at the White House. John, thanks as always. Next here tonight to Inside Edition host Deborah Norville, who underwent surgery today after a viewer spotted something while watching Norville on TV. Tonight, how Norville is now doing and what we can all learn from this. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Tonight, Deborah Norville out of surgery after doctors removed a cancerous nodule from her thyroid, reporting everything went great. The host of Inside Edition revealing her diagnosis Monday.
You know, we live in a world of see something, say something, and I'm really glad we do.
Crediting an eagle-eyed viewer who noticed something didn't look right.
An Inside Edition viewer reached out to say she'd seen something on my neck. It was a lump.
Norville says she lived with that lump for years under close medical observation, but when it turned cancerous, it was time to operate.
There'll be no chemo, I'm told no radiation.
It's not the first time a TV viewer has flagged a health concern. HGTV host Tariq El Moussa was successfully treated for thyroid cancer after a nurse spotted this lump on his neck.
David, doctors say about half of people will get a thyroid nodule before the age of 60, but only 5% turn out to be cancerous. Tonight, Norville is thanking everyone for the outpouring of love. David?
And we're thinking about Deborah Norville as well, Ariel. Thank you. And they will make history in Chicago tonight. Voters going to the polls today. And no matter who they vote for, the city's next mayor will, for the first time, be an African-American woman. Today's runoff election has voters deciding between Tony Preckwinkle, a former teacher and now president of the Cook County government, against Lori Lightfoot, a former prosecutor who is openly gay. The result will make history, and we'll stay on it into the night. There was next tonight here to that lawsuit after hidden cameras were discovered in operating rooms in a San Diego hospital, recording female patients. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
A few years after going into the hospital for an emergency C-section, Carla Jones was stunned to learn her child's birth had been captured on a hidden camera.
I was mortified at the idea that there was video or images of me in that extremely vulnerable and exposed moment.
A new lawsuit filed by 81 women alleges cameras in 3 operating rooms at Sharp Grossmont Hospital recorded some 1,800 patients between July 2012 and June 2013. The story broken by our San Diego affiliate KGTV. This image obtained by ABC News shows the view from one of those undercover cameras.
There's images floating around somewhere, potentially viewed, or could be viewed in the future by others without my permission.
The hospital says the motion-activated cameras were part of an investigation into missing drugs.
Even after they confronted the employee and they had identified the source of the missing drugs in their mind, they continued to operate the cameras for 2 additional months.
David, the hospital tells ABC News they have not used those surveillance methods again and that they regret that their efforts to ensure medication security may have caused distress. David?
All right, even to the index into that NYPD traffic agent stuck in traffic. Cell phone video shows him suddenly ramming into cars to get free. Police tonight say the agent appeared disoriented. He was taken to the hospital for evaluation. The rock-throwing stunt in Burlington, Kentucky tonight. 2 teenage boys are now charged after seriously injuring a driver. The rock went through the windshield. The driver will need reconstructive surgery for his face. And ticket sales for Avengers Endgame went on sale today. Major ticket sites, including AMC theaters and Fandango, struggling. Some Fandango customers were told the wait was more than an hour. The AMC site crashed. When we come back here, Rebel reunited. Rebel is a rescue dog adopted 3 years ago. And Kayla Blake has been smiling ever since. But last week, there was a fire in their apartment building in Harrisonburg, Virginia. The dog was home alone when Kayla got the devastating call.
I was a wreck, very hysterical, and that was my first concern was whether or not they were going to be able to get Rebel out.
Firefighters arrived, but it was too dangerous to go upstairs to find Rebel.
The K-9 unit told my parents that there was no way that he would have escaped.
2 days later, you can see the first responders up there on that 3rd floor because Kayla had returned and thought she heard barking. And this is the moment firefighters emerged. They were carrying the dog out, down the stairs, and right to the parking lot with Rebel. And just look at what happens when she sets Rebel down. Kisses for everyone, his tail wagging. Rebel, beyond happy. Tonight, the local vet says despite a burn to his nose, Rebel is just fine. And this evening, this image, Rebel and Kayla and the firefighters smiling too after going back and finding Rebel waiting. Glad Rebel is home. Good night.